CW super couples, love them or leave them. From West Allen to Carmon to Oliver and whoever he's dating at the moment. We are talking relationships right now on Super Chat. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Super Chat. I'm your host, Just Jess. And I am joined with two new guests and one returning friend, Israel Adams, today. And I am digging his Strange for Things shirt. That is the coolest shirt. I love Stranger Things, and I love cats. And so I'm pretty excited about everybody being here today. So we've got Israel Adams, Angel Anderson, Luke Foster, the cartoonist. Israel, what have you been up to? You told me you're getting started with Extra Life again.
Yeah, it's a charity that benefits the local kids in the Children's Miracle Network.
Nice.
So the Levine Children's Hospital is the local one.
Okay.
So it's basically a 24-hour gaming marathon that they put on every year. And you get donations, people try to support you as much as they can, and then it's up to you to play games for 24 hours for the kids.
Oh, that's hard, real hard. Like that's one like 24-hour marathon I can do. That or like a TV watching marathon. So do you pick the game you want to play?
Yeah, you can play pretty much anything you want, as long as you're responsible for keeping yourself going for 24 hours. You know.
Can you not die?
No, you can.
Okay.
As long as you physically keep playing something,
you just
then
have to be there.
You can keep going. Right.
Okay, cool. Because I could do some Tetris. So Angel and I used to live together. We had like a whole gaming system console going on. It was intense, and I have Wii, I have Super Nintendo. What do you have?
I've got Sega Genesis, Wii U.
Yeah, that's newer. Yeah.
NES.
We gotta get that Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
I'm talking as if we don't still live together. We gotta get it, and then we're gonna play it. We actually were co-producers in college too, so we go
way back.
That's sadly a long time ago now.
Don't say how
just
long
some
ago.
years. It's like a few years ago. That
Like three? Like
three-ish.
Three.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, or like multiply that. But so you have been blogging and doing things with Girls Read Comics. Tell us about that.
Girls Read Comics is we started the site maybe almost 10 years ago now.
Okay.
And we want to highlight the fact that there are girls who read comics as well, because the industry, it's gotten better now, but it started out as sort of an inclusive thing.
Yes.
Where girls will walk into comic shops, and it was a thing where you get stared at.
What is that doing here?
Yeah, exactly. And we want to highlight that girls do read comics and girls do create comics.
Yes,
and
they very well
it's something that we're trying to
push the female cause. Yeah, there are actually a lot of local artists who do some actually female-driven, like Spider-Gwen, even Squirrel Girl is colored here. So there, we're getting there.
Like I said, it's gotten better since we started the site, but it's still a thing. That
I think it's all because of the site.
Oh, maybe.
You never know. It could very well be. So that's very cool. So we can find you at Girls Read Comics on Twitter. And Luke, speaking of artists, Luke Foster is a local artist and cartoonist. He's brought some examples of his work. Tell us about Dr. Bananas.
Yeah, this is my comic book, my current series, Dr. Bananas, Monkey Magician.
That's awesome.
Thank you. It's about a magician and who is also a monkey who goes and fights evil around the world.
Well, of course, yeah.
With hilarious consequences. Each story is also a spoof of a piece of literature. That just because the first issue started off that way as a spoof of The Monkey's Paw, this one did.
Okay.
And so I decided to keep doing it that way.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's very fun.
Thank you. The other books, there are some old series I have books of I don't do anymore. This is called Drawn Away. It's the true story of a 4-month trip around America that I took.
It looks like that character looks similar.
Yes. I don't have that shirt anymore.
Oh, no.
But yeah.
It's retired. You retired it at the Dome.
I had to. It's a true story of a 4-month trip around America I took a few years ago
very
that I wrote and
cool.
drew as I traveled. Thank you.
Very cool. So where can people find your work if they want to buy them?
If you see me at a convention, I have all my books.
Okay.
You can get all these on indieplanet.com, and Dr. Bananas will soon be available on Comixology.
Ooh, very cool. These are the kind of, like, this title is something that if I was walking around like Heroes Con, I'd be like, well, I'm getting Dr. Bananas, because that's hysterical. I just love offbeat things. So that's very cool. So look for Luke, at Cartoonist Luke, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr.
Exactly.
Everything. This, the past 2 weeks, CW has really prolonged Valentine's Day, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's too much. I mean, they had, it was Friends Day, but they used HR having the excuse of, oh, it's Friends Day, but really Barry had set the apartment up as like a Valentine's Day thing. So that kind of, also there are a lot of new and budding relationships like Kara and Mon-El, and then there's some really just like plummeting off the cliff ones like Oliver and Susan, which no one liked that. So I don't know, but he shouldn't have. But maybe it's smart he did mess with her because he found out that she was onto him, being the Green Arrow. Anyways, my question of the week: are you sick of all these super couples, or you love them? You want more of them? You want less? You're okay? What do you guys think? It looks like a lot of people love them.
As long as they work like, in this story and with the actors and stuff, I'm all for it. Like, I think Kara and Mon-El, the actors have great chemistry together, and the characters are likable. So I think they work really well together.
Yes.
Wally and Jesse, like they might have it, but it was so abrupt, like, that it just feels like give us a chance to believe it first.
I didn't know they were like long distance dating, like long Earth distance multiverse.
They weren't. She said they hadn't talked in a while.
Right. So then they're like, let's rekindle it, and she alluded to moving in together. Aren't they in high school? Are they?
College.
Okay, they're in college.
That,
So Wally's in college. I thought he was in high school for some reason. I can't peg his age because the actor's probably like late 20s. So regardless, but so yeah, I agree with that. It seemed a little forced. Are there just some that you could just live without? Like just every other one's fine, but just this one, no.
I wish we could go without Barry and Iris.
Right.
I mean, I like them individually, and I know how critical it is to the future series of events. But just kind of back off of that for a while,
like
and
chill it out
let them do their own thing. They're both young. They can get there eventually.
They're just kids. They'll get there. What were you thinking, Angel?
I'm thinking Oliver and his...
And anyone?
And anyone, really. Because,
Just stop, Oliver. I feel like riots are probably forming right outside the studios now because of the West Allen thing. But I tend to agree. I think, I think Melissa Benoist and Supergirl could have good chemistry with anybody. I think she's just so charismatic. And I like the West Allen idea. I like that she's his voice of reason oftentimes because really Wells is no longer. Barry always has one kind of voice of reason. But again, I feel like we kind of really took a deep dive into this relationship. And also, I do like Kara and Mon-El, but I feel like they started acting like they've been dating for 5 years this last episode.
Yeah.
It was a little like quick. Although they are cute. I mean, they're cute. Nobody hates Mon-El.
That could be an infatuation factor too. I mean, that fresh burst of energy
they're in the
at
honeymoon
beginning.
phase.
Right.
But it was more even that they had I guess maybe because they had known each other a long time, they had more depth or something. Like he's weighing in on her family issues and getting himself in trouble.
And overstepping his bounds.
Yes, very much so. Very much overstepping his bounds. Chris on Facebook out of Raleigh said he thinks it's a never-ending cycle for Ollie, and he'd like to just see him stop and be the Arrow. So I think everyone agrees there. Also, the whole I didn't feel that. Maybe you're just lonely. But that Susan, she wasn't appealing to me at all. Not looks-based, just as a person, she seemed. I don't know. Ollie, you can do better. don't be dating Susan. But now it's led into some real issues.
I think he's kind of socially deprived too. So I mean, any kind of attention that he might get is somewhat limited.
Also, he only hangs out with his ex-fiance.
Right.
So I mean, that's awkward. That's real awkward. And well, although here's the thing, I love the new Black Canary, but
she's fantastic.
She is fantastic. But please don't date her. Stop pooping where you eat. Stop shipping where you eat. Oh, those are peas. You heard it. And then Chris also said he's still not sure about Mon-El, but we did find out an interesting bit about Mon-El, or we found out that we don't know an interesting bit about Mon-El. So Supergirl this week featured a lot of my favorite Dean Cain. Did any of you watch Adventures of Lois and Clark?
Yes.
Okay, I watched it. That was I loved it. And Terry Hatcher is going to be on the show as a villain. So
awesome.
I'm excited to see her. What do you think about him being back? Were you glad to see him? Do you want to see more Dean?
I think they're using him well.
Yeah.
The whole he was, John rescued him, and that's why he's their father now, their father figure. And there were a lot of, I know some friends thought Dean Cain was actually going to be like the Cyborg Superman, which he might still be.
Yeah. Right.
So which would be good, but there's clearly more going on than just him being a traitor. Like I think maybe Cadmus is blackmailing him or threatening probably Kara and Alex.
Okay, yeah. Who agrees there's more to it?
Yeah, there's got to be more to it.
Yeah.
Because he told Alex, you know, I'm doing this for you. There's
this
isn't all there is.
He said, would you believe him? And yes, I would believe that because anything happened. But we see here he's got this bionic arm. So I was watching this last night and my dad was in town. I was like, stop, let me explain to you, Dad. I've been waiting for Dean Cain to be Cyborg Superman because I really had hoped that's who would be. I didn't really want Hank Henshaw to be Cyborg Superman. I really thought it would have been a way more bang for your buck to have shown Dean Cain as that. So I'm hoping that really he is a Cyborg Superman. Are there multiple ones in the comics?
No. Well, it depends. Continuity is a little confusing right now. Currently Cyborg Superman is Supergirl's father from Krypton.
Okay. So okay. Well, yeah, we're kind of there.
I don't know if there's a Hank Henshaw Cyborg Superman right now.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Now. I don't know either.
I do enjoy the CW is where all former comic heroes go to play the parents. So we see Helen Slater right there. She was Supergirl. She's super nice too. We actually met her down in Greenville. She was at I think it was South Carolina Comic Con.
Nice.
But I love that. Like, I don't know if CW is just looking back at old shows and calling them up, saying like, "Hey, you want to play the dad now?" So, and I think
that
that's
nostalgia
cool.
factor.
It is.
It's cool. It's fan service.
I love it. Have any of you watched Riverdale yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Riverdale is where all the teen stars have gone to be the teen stars' parents. Yep. So we got Skeet Ulrich. We got I don't know that one guy, but he was always like the bonehead guy that plays Betty's dad, and then. What's his name for Luke Perry? I mean, there's so many of them.
Molly Ringwald is going to be Archie's mom.
That's so funny.
The woman from Twin Peaks.
Yep.
Shelley. Yeah.
Yeah, like the casting of that. I was watching the other day. I was like, that's Skeet Ulrich. Am I right? Like, and it was. He's aged some, but I like how he's very much typecast. He's never going to be like the happy-go-lucky, flowery dude. Just like he's always going to be like, I am the leader of the snakes. But I like Skeet Ulrich. He's a good actor. So one of the interesting parts of this week's Supergirl episode was when Mon-El did confront Jeremiah Danvers. Jeremiah had something to say back to him. Take a look at this clip.
Sir, as a scientist, you have to believe in questioning. That's all I was trying to do in there. I'm sorry if I hurt you.
I know who you are.
And?
That's it. I know who you are, and I doubt Kara would like the truth.
Ooh. Well, who is he?
I think he was the Daxamite prince that he said sacrificed himself. Because they've been alluding to him being more than just a guard. Like when they were on that slave planet, he didn't want to be there and then that alien recognized him.
Yes.
And it would fit his pre-Earth life to be, the selfish prince who would throw his bodyguard aside to save his own skin.
So, okay, I agree with that. I thought we knew he was a prince. Did we not know that? Am I just jumping to that conclusion?
I don't think we knew it.
They haven't said it on the show.
Well, then it's painfully obvious if I'm just there already. Well, so I thought, so back in that scene when when they were leaving Daxam and he ended up in the ship, I thought that the guy put him in the ship.
That's what he said.
Oh, that might not be what happened. He may not be so nice of a dude. And he's I wonder if he was on that planet and he was just kind of a crazy ruler or something. And treated people badly, and that's why he was afraid when all the when he was at the other alien planet, they recognized him. I don't know. Any thoughts on? Because isn't someone still looking for Mon-El in one of those last episodes we saw at the very end? I thought somebody was still looking for him.
On the slave planet, they were.
They were, okay. So we fit. Yeah. Gosh, I tell you, I can't keep everything straight. So, but okay. So I think you're onto something, and I think that Mon-El was more important, at least in some regard, than we know. But why would Kara be mad? I don't know.
There's got to be more to it than just And being a prince.
I'm curious. I want to find out. I do like. I think Supergirl of all these shows is the strongest this season, and I think that they're doing a really good job of balancing. Like none of the relationships on that show annoy me that much. We did not see any of James Olsen this episode. But we did see Wynn and his new alien girlfriend. And how do we feel about Wynn and his new little alien love? She's cute. I mean, hey.
Yeah, she's someone.
Yeah, she's a person. Or not. She's actually not a person. I think the purpose of her is what we saw at the end with Jeremiah at Cadmus, and they've taken the National Alien Registry.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, and then I'm going to just call that big ship the Death Star, because that's, I mean, it was like, it was crazy. So I feel like the purpose of that character is going to be something where she gets chosen with the Alien Registry to be destroyed, kind of thing. So we'll have to find out. How do you feel about Maggie and Alex? I think they're the most real couple on the show.
They're fantastic.
They're fantastic.
They're very natural together.
Yeah, they're so well written. It's my favorite couple on the show. A lot is going to be happening towards. There's not a ton of episodes left in the season, but a lot will happen. Take a look at the trailer for next week on Supergirl.
Cadmus stole the Alien Registry. They're abducting everyone on the list.
Cadmus is going to slaughter them. I can stop them, but only with your help.
Innocent people will keep disappearing.
Where's Cadmus? You're the only Superman we need. Are you with me?
It's going to amp up the intensity. And not to get too political, but Supergirl very much mirrors what is happening in modern society without being so on the nose with just straight up saying things, but in a roundabout way, it's a metaphor for a lot of current policies. And it's very interesting, and it's a very socially relevant show. So they're doing a really good job. And I'm glad to see Dean Cain back again next week. I think that this is the strongest plot of all the 4 superhero shows on CW, but I always got to give it up to the Flash because I love the Flash, and this was a really fun gorilla fight this week. I mean, who doesn't love a gorilla fight?
It wasn't long enough.
I mean, you should have a grad job. It wasn't long enough, but you know the CG animators were like, no, we're done.
The budget ends here.
The budget ends here, yes. But there was some really good CGI, especially that last shot of Solivar with it was really well done. I was like, this is crazy for TV. And then right after it, you barely noticed there was like a stop in the show, and then went into a Kong promo for the movie. And I was like, well, that's A, funny, really well placed. But B, like, if you're just kind of skimming through, you don't know when the show went into commercial, because that's how, I think that's how highly produced these CGI characters are. So good on them. Good job in the Gorilla Army. That was probably some copy pasting there. I would have been like control B, control whatever is the thing. Wally and Jesse, we're talking a little bit about them. So what do you think will happen now that there will be 3 speedsters on Earth 1?
They'll probably break them off. They might be warming up for some kind of spin-off, possibly.
Oh, please no. First of all, we're only talking about 3 shows on the show. Second, we already have Black Lightning, wasn't it? That was announced that I think they've optioned it as a pilot, but it's not picked up yet, definitely.
They just cast Black Lightning. I forget who it is, though.
I have to look it up. I don't know. I want to get my phone out right now. Yeah, I think let's not go too far down the superhero hole. Like, we love the shows. Sometimes less is more. If there's too many, people are going to only pick a few to watch it. Nah, that's probably not true. But no, don't spin off like Jesse Quick and. Oh, that would be cute though.
It'd be adorable.
Maybe they'll move them to Legends. Wally and Jesse.
Maybe.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be cute.
I can see them fit there.
Yeah, we have a very big Legends fan. They are a strong duo. They're a strong 2 actors. I really like Keenan Lonsdale's acting. Like, I think he's one of the funniest characters on the show, with just some of his like facial things he does. But like this when Gypsy kissed Cisco. So I would hope they would stay, or at least Wally would stay. I like Jesse just fine. I just prefer Wally. But as 3 speedsters a crowd, we'll all live. Well,
I don't think they're all gonna live.
Or lose power, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully that that instead of them killing someone off.
Yeah, let's like stop killing people off. But we did see that someone they've killed off has posted all over Instagram that he was back on set. Rick Cosnett, who played Eddie in season 1. So maybe we'll see him. Literally every episode of Super Chat, I'm like, when is Rick Cosnett coming back? I don't know why I liked him so much.
There's always time fluctuations. I mean, that could explain the end of the Flash episode as well. I mean, it may not be the current version of Savitar.
True. That's true. Yeah. And we see at the end that Wally sees him. Actually, take a look at this clip where Wally speeds out to go get, I think it was like food, and sees or thinks he sees Savitar. Okay, is it all in his head?
I don't think it's all in his head. He saw something.
He saw something. So how would have Savitar gotten out of the Speed Force? I don't know. I think that's maybe where Eddie is. It's in the Speed Force somehow. Because isn't Cobalt Blue turned into a speedster in the comics, correct? I don't know. We're going wrong.
That was a long time ago.
Right? Oh, man. Well, it wasn't long ago that I Googled it, so it seems very new and fresh to me. But I think that perhaps there could be some force at play is why we're getting people out of, because we never saw exactly where Eddie went. Like his body got sucked up into the singularity. So maybe we'll see. Maybe that's how he comes back to the show. I hope he does. Savitar, he's not my favorite villain. What are your favorite villains from Flash?
I actually liked Captain Cold and Heatwave.
Oh yeah, they were fun. They were a good duo. I liked Reverse Flash season 1.
I also Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash, and you gotta love Grodd too.
Yeah, I love Grodd.
Telepathic gorilla.
Yeah, how do you beat that? Yeah. So I think that Savitar is more the idea of a villain because really he's not that present, but he's created this fear. Really, they're more fearing the future, which should be, that's like a real metaphor. We can get real deep there. But what do you think? Well, how do you think it's going to pan out? I always ask my guests, do you think someone will sacrifice themselves instead of Iris, or how do you think they'll save the day, or what do you think?
I think it's going to be a gigantic cliffhanger. Whatever happens at the end of the season, it's just going to drop off.
I can't wait till summer. Also, CW shows don't come back to like mid-October. What am I going to do?
There's a chance that, like with the end of season 1, Julian sacrifices himself to stop Savitar.
Yeah.
But that would be a very season 1-ish thing. And
it would be.
It would just be another boyfriend of Caitlin's who has to die.
Right? I know, or at least a pal. I know. Caitlin's doing pretty well considering, I don't know if Star Labs has like psychiatric help or something, but she's doing real well for that. Cisco and his little gypsy lady friend. Of all of the characters, if only Cisco had a girlfriend on the show, I think I'd be good with that. Because like Joe's coupled up, look at her. That was actually pretty funny. And there's been some really good light humorous moments on The Flash, which is really nice because it is a real dark plot right now. Like we know someone's gonna die, we have to make sure they don't. And then Arrow's very dark. Always dark. Yeah, but that would be weird if it was like happy-go-lucky Arrow. Even though in the comics he's a little bit more lighter, right?
No, it depends.
It depends, yeah. I guess it depends on all of them because there's so many versions. Let's take a look for next week's episode of The Flash.
We need to figure out where Savitar is. How he's still trapped.
Wally, he wasn't there. He was messing with your head. It was all in your mind. How do we know he's not spying on us through Wally right now?
I'm going to get out of here, Wallace. I have what I need to escape my hell.
He's 10 steps ahead of you. There's no stopping Savitar.
Oh my God. The Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
It seems ominous.
Because he never really beat him the first time around either.
They didn't. They just flung him into the Speed Force. And I would assume somebody like Savitar could figure their way out of the Speed Force. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see what happens with the whole Iris death scene, but I feel like sometimes because they've seen those headlines, it's almost like they're not making them, but they are kind of paving the path.
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right. Yes. And so I don't know. I don't know if they're doing what's right or actually just causing the problem itself.
Well, there have already been a couple of changes. You saw HR on the roof with the gun, and they did get Kid Flash to stop plunder, not the Flash. So
that's true.
And Barry did say, "I can't save her, but you'll have to."
Yeah,
so.
and now maybe Jesse will help too. So the 3 speedsters may be the answer. Maybe you need 3 times the speed. What's those movies? Fast and Furious. I don't know why. Fast and Furious 3. But they are fast and they are furious, and I really do enjoy Wally West. And Joe has been really funny this season too. Back to Arrow. Well, what I've written down, and I feel like everyone can agree here, I have no idea what's happening in the flashbacks. Literally none is what I've written for my notes. Does anybody get it?
No.
Nobody. I don't get it. I don't know.
I mean, I know they're trying to explain his Bratva background somewhat and how he got sort of trained, I guess, but he's already gone through so much training before this point in the flashbacks that I don't know what she's really adding to him.
Yes, I think like maybe a couple bullet points would have done that. I think it's too detailed, and I think less would have been more with these flashbacks, like maybe not even every episode. And we did see that Susan, his fling of the week, was a flavor of the month. Susan, which I don't like Susan. Nobody likes Susan. She's on to him. She straight up asks him if he's Arrow, which I thought he played off really well, and I thought Stephen Amell's acting was pretty funny. I like every now and then when he is light, and he's light Oliver Queen, like his goofy old Playboy self. But it's so seldom, so it is nice when you see it. But so she's on to him, and we see at the end of the episode that now that they've released that there has been a cover-up by the mayor's office to cover up that police officer's death. I mean, Arrow killed him. So my question was this. Are they going to have to do something drastic to either something like a fake his own death again, or will Oliver have to reveal that he's the Arrow to keep going? What do you think?
I mean, I think he's going to have to at this point.
Yeah.
You've got, who was the guy who was on to him after the fight?
I can't think
He
of
said
the
the same thing that he had said earlier as Oliver.
Yes, the police chief. Yeah. And that was, I didn't know if that was so much, I mean, a police chief should be always looking for clues. First of all, you're looking at the guy. I don't know how you don't know. That drives me crazy. But like they're this close. If you had on like a mask, I'd be like, I think that's not Luke. From Superjet. But I didn't know if they were just repeating that or if he kind of was like, I'm understanding why your source is. Did you think it was that indicative that he knew?
I think he just kind of let it slide at the time.
I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, he seemed onto him. I do you think the fake your own death thing has been played?
I think it's going to loop back into that hacking group that Felicity has gotten a hold of.
I do too.
Somehow that's going to conclude the whole arc.
Right.
Because there's so much information in whatever it was that they gave her.
And he did make a point of saying when he went to who he presumes is Prometheus' mom, he said, your son has erased all of his identity from the internet. Which that was just kind of a weird thing to say if, like he's vanished, but just like his Facebook's gone too. It's just FYI. So I thought maybe to specifically bring that up might have been how we tie into that hacker group. I want to know what Felicity's doing there. Stephen Amell hinted at in season 6 being flash forwards and possibly his own death. How many more seasons should Arrow go on? Should it end at 6?
I always think TV shows should go 7 seasons and then end.
And then end it?
Yes.
So 7 here.
All the Star Treks did it, so.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know, 6 or 7 is probably a good number, especially with how they've done the flashbacks for so long, and if they go to the flash forwards, I feel like.
You can sum it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, with many detailed, non-wigged flash forwards.
Oh, they're going to bring
the
out
wig
wigs.
was better this season, though. I hope it's like a crazy mullet. What do you think? One more season, then we're done with Arrow?
Probably at least. I'd say at least one more season.
At least one more season.
They've got enough threads to other things, but I think they might be starting to run out of bad guy ideas more than story ideas, because the whole, even the last season where he was trying to fight magic seemed like a little too far to me.
It was a stretch, I agree. Well, I hope it ends at the right time. I don't like when shows go on too long, so I'm going to go with 6. But We love it. We love all these superhero shows. And Arrow's on tonight at 8, so make sure you guys go home and watch. And thanks to all our guests for being here. Make sure you find a cartoonist Luke and check out all of his cool comics. And thanks for being here. Thanks for super chatting. And until next week, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.